In this video, we're going to be talking about the top podcasting or interview-based shows, tools and tips, and how to use them. So what's up guys, RJ here back in this video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about like what are the tools that I personally use and the tips and tricks to use it in order to maximize your effort and your results if you're launching your own podcast or if you're launching your own interview show and all that. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just go and subscribe to the channel and be sure to hit the notification bell on and let's talk about it. Now we're going to go like one by one from the start of the process, how the interview process starts to the end. The very first step that actually comes out is to reach them out. So one of the main ways to reach them out is through email. Email in most cases does work alongside social media. So you cannot rely on one place and sending them the messages or sending them the reach out, let's say on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and hoping that you will get the reply from them. Instead, what you should do is you should go in and use Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever, and also send them the email, on their email as well, or their assistant's email as well. So that give you an ability to do multiple reach outs out there to see like if you could get potential reply. So one of the tool that I use, which is absolutely amazing, and their free plans are awesome, easy to use, is MailTrack. What MailTrack does is like it gives you the ability to go in and see if those people out there, the people that you send the email through your desktop, in most cases, you get the notification if those people have read your email or not, or if they've read it multiple times or not, because then you get an idea and then you can go in and follow up according to that as well. Sometimes what happens is it takes like 5, 6, 7, 8. For one of my clients, it took like 20 follow-ups in order to book one guest, which was massive, huge. But since we knew that person might be missing the message and might never watching the message, it gives us the ability to reach out in that particular format. Like we know what's happening actually just because of the extension, which is like MailTrack. They have a free plan. I will, whatever the resources I'm talking about, I will put up all the links out there in the description down below, so you can go in and check those out as well if you want to start your own podcast or your show. So that was the first software, which is MailTrack CRM. Now, the next software comes up is your software to book them up. Some people have this issue that when they reach out to somebody like, hey, let's do an interview, and they say yes. The problem is you don't know where to go next. So the best option for you to go is just create an account on Calendly. I personally use Calendly. They do have a free plan as well if you want to use. It is based on like one event. You can use that if you want to use it in the initial start, and you can have multiple events on paid plan. You can use Calendly and hook it up with your Google Calendar so that whenever any event gets created, it gets up on your calendar and also on their calendar as well. Because until or unless the interview don't get scheduled on your calendar, don't count it as a booked interview. Because a lot of time what happen is, they say yes, you say yes, sometimes they forget and sometimes you forget, and it creates a complete mess. And it may be like, it probably going to take a longer than expected sometimes to do a follow-up and finally get them back again on the show. It happens with me like back in the day when I was starting out, and I've done these type of mistakes. So always book them up on calendar. You can use Equity or you can use Calendly. For me, I use personally Calendly, and it's amazing. The next thing comes out is doing the interview. So for doing the interview out there, my personal favorite tool that I use is Streamyard. Streamyard actually gives me the ability to, first of all, publish it across multiple platforms if I'm doing it when I do it live in the first place. So what Streamyard does, it not only like publish it across different platforms, it also gives, right now with the recent update that they have, it gives me the ability to let my guest say yes as well. Like for example, if they want to say yes to publish it, it can also be published live simultaneously on the exact same time when I'm doing it on my profile. It gets on their profile as well, which actually captivates their audience as well. It doesn't happen like too often, but sometimes they're like, okay, let's do it, why not? So that feature that they came along is amazing. You can even like download separate audio and video. You can also use repurposing clip trim subject as well. You can also pre-record your interviews in the first place, and you can publish that on StreamYard as well, which is amazing. So for me, the plan that I use out there is the $25 per month plan. I think it's more than enough for you to use. Even in the longer perspective out there, you can always increase the plan. The reason I don't like to go for the free plan for this particular aspect is because if you're interviewing somebody out there who's like 6, 7 or multiple 8 figures entrepreneur, you cannot discount in that part by not spending $25 as an investment. Because if you're not spending even $25 and you're getting these massive guests, you're getting this StreamYard watermark, you don't look professional at all. We're not talking about like this corporate stuff and all that, but still you have to create impression. I always talk about this. When you're interviewing somebody or when you're inviting somebody on your show, you're inviting somebody in your home, and it's all about the experience. Okay, so the next tool is StreamYard. As I mentioned, all the links will be in the description down below. Just go and check it and just go and sign up for it as well. The next tool that comes up with it is Anchor.fm, which actually rebranded to Spotify for podcasters, for publishing it as podcasting platforms. So the reason why I like Anchor.fm is, first of all, it's free. It gives you the ability to distribute all the audio podcast across multiple different platforms, and which becomes super easier. And also Anchor.fm, which is now Spotify for podcaster, it's amazing and easy to use as well, and anybody can go in and use it. Easy to set up, easy to modify, add your branding and all that. So it is amazing to use Anchor.fm or Spotify for podcaster. So you can check that up as free, because it's a free website. You can check it out. I'm using it for the past almost like more than 3 years. So no plan for switching. For even my clients who are starting out, I always suggest them that, because that is amazing. The next tool that comes up for me, which I mostly use even for myself or for my client, is Chartable. So Chartable is a podcast tracking tool, which actually gives you the ability to see like if you're ranking on any sort of podcast charts in any market that you could be. You can just use your RSS. You go to Chartable, you just add your RSS into there by signing up. Chartable have a free plan. You can join the free plan. It's mostly good to go for you in the initial start. You can always see, or you can even get emails on your inbox that every day or every week or every month, however you want to get notified, that on which platform or which country or in which category you're actually ranking up or not. That gives me always the idea about like if I'm ranking anywhere, I just go in and share with my audience. And if I also know about that if I'm ranking, like let's say in India or in Pakistan or in let's say in Canada or Australia, I can take those snapshots out there and I can reach out to next potential guest and let them know like, hey, I've been on the podcast charts out there. I would love to have you on the show. They would appreciate that sort of they would appreciate that sort of credibility that you are creating over down the road, and they would love to be the part of it as well, and they would love to enjoy it, love to be the part of your show and all that. So if you don't monitor what's going on in terms of like being on the podcast charts out there, you don't know what's happening, so you cannot leverage it if you don't know what's going. So use Chartable, and it is amazing. The next thing which we also use is Subtitle. So Subtitle is actually one of the caption tool that we actually use. There are so many alternative to it, which is like Descript. Descript is like super advanced, super amazing. We haven't used it that much right now, so I cannot say like that much about it. We're still testing it right now, but Subtitle is actually something that we use all the time when we create any sort of like IGTV videos or like these Facebook videos, which are like square 1x1 videos. We use captions using Subtitle, and Subtitle also have the ability to have those progress bars you might have saw in videos like Gary Vee or other content creators who have these like progress bars. So we use Subtitle all the time as well, and which is an amazing tool. Subtitle do have a paid plan, so you better go with it, and it's definitely an amazing investment to go for. It costs around like $10 to $15 per month. You have to consider everything into stuff like these, like your interview-based shows or your podcast, as an investment. If you are willing to do it in longer term out there, I cannot, say more than enough that you will get the outcome that you're potentially desiring for. It took me like 3 years to get all of these traction, or all of the people knowing me, or building this like massive network and all that. So I'm still not stopping at all. My goal is to stay consistent, be relevant, and do hard work and be relevant down the road. So use Subtitle. That's also an amazing tool. The next tool that we use is Headliner. Have you ever saw of these like podcasts where these have like audiograms or like these waves of sounds coming along? So we use Audiogram using Headliner. Headliner do have a free plan which allows you to have, I think, 5 posts per month without having any sort of watermark, and then they have some sort of like paid plan. But Headliner gives you the ability actually to go in and create those audiograms by adding either your own graphic or use their preset of graphics by your podcast just in right away, or your podcast main logo, or your art cover or so and all that. So that's also the main thing. So we use Headliner all the time for ourselves, for our clients, when we post like Audiogram stories, and all that. So you can use Headliner as well. One of the other most important apps that I use are essentially free. One of them is Google Drive. I use Google Drive all the time for storing my digital assets, such as my interviews, such as my reels, such as my IGTVs, Facebook videos, and also it helps me to store data and also to assign it to my team, so that they can also post it as well. They know what's going on, because we also, all the time work on optimizing our systems or so, because we have to make sure how efficient we can become, so that it don't create a mess and all that. So we use Google Drive all the time. So we are on a paid plan of Google Drive. Obviously, you can start with free plan. I think it comes up with 15 GB. If you're on a professional one, you can get 30 GB. And then you can upgrade, according to that. So this is definitely a must-have tool out there if you want to go in and, store on one place, where you potentially have a plan to grow a team as well. So everybody knows where it is and you are not restricted to one place. Moving here and there always creates a mess, becomes frustrated and all that. It's always better to be organized in the initial start out there, even though if you're taking imperfect action. The next tool is also the part of the Google products, which is the Google Sheets. We use Google Sheets in order to make the list of the people who we are reaching out, who we booked, what are the contents that have been published from the interview? Like, is it like podcast, audio platform being published, like a video platform being published, or reels published or not on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and all that. So we actually keep ourselves accountable and see the checks and balances to see what's going on and where the things have been uploaded or not. So that gives us more clarity to see like what we have to do, what we have to work on. We have to double down on C just to make sure we are not, behind for what we have planned so far. That's also an amazing tool to do it. The next tool that comes up is like, guys, there are so many tools out there, but if you go step by step, you will understand where it actually fits in the puzzle. Okay. So the next tool that comes up is definitely Trello. We use Trello all the time for organizing our interview processes and delegating it to our team. Even though if you don't have a team in your initial start, what you can still do is you can still go for Trello, create two list. One could be video list, other could be graphic list. For every particular guest, you can have separate graphics on your Trello card alongside your Google Drives as well. And also you can do the similar things for video side, like you can at least attach your links, like this was the links that were used for one specific guest. It helps a lot when it comes to when you're using a team especially. But if you organize it in such a way, it becomes more easier. Now team knows where to where to get it up, where to use it, where to pull it out. It becomes more easier, more robust, and it gives the indication of the deadlines, the members have been assigned with a task and all that. So it becomes completely super handy with Google Drive when we're using it. The best way to use it is to use the power of Zapier. I cannot stress enough on Zapier. It's actually one of the favorite tool that I use all the time out there to see like how I can go in and automate these things in any way possible. If you know how to use Zapier and everything, you can automate so many things out there, which most people just wonder like how to do it. For me, I use Zapier. Let's say like if the videos have been uploaded on Drive by my client or my editor, now my my editor or any part of my team member upload the videos on a certain Drive, my team gets a notification, my video editor gets a notification, and my graphic designer like, hey, and then they start working on reels, and they start the designer working on graphics and all that, and there comes a deadline that pushes up on Google Sheet. So everything becomes so much automated when you know how to use Zapier. So Zapier is actually like lifesaver after all the stress you're having, and now you know like how to figure out using Zapier. So this was definitely the tool that I would definitely recommend using as well. One of the last thing I would say that we are leveraging at least right now is ChatGPT. AI is definitely like crushing it right now. It's going amazing. So what we are trying to do with ChatGPT essentially is we're trying to make sure like how we can repurpose the content in the best way possible out there that we were not leveraging in the past. So right now, recently what we're doing it, out of the interview, we pull out all of the transcripts out there and we kind of like try to repurpose it using ChatGPT by writing prompts such as like, convert all of these transcript of an interview into email, and it comes an email, and we can optimize according to that, or transform this. The next prompt could be like transform this into a Twitter thread. Now I can post it on Twitter, or transform it into a LinkedIn post. Like now it optimizes in such a way where it looks suitable upon specific platform. I've been using it and I'm loving it, and I haven't explored a lot inside ChatGPT because there is like so much to explore into it. But I'm trying to learn it, and I'm trying to see like how I can like fit that into my business, and see like how I can expand the part of the content that I'm doing as well. So these were the main tools that I actually use for myself in order to get these things out. And that is something out there that I use like day-to-day basis. Even my editor uses it all the time, because there are other softwares out there that are something that probably everybody knows. Like for editor, we use like Camtasia or Adobe Premiere Pro. That is the other part of the things out there that we use for reels that we create for ourselves and for our clients and all that. So I think like that's pretty much enough for the tools and the tips and tricks around those podcasting tools out there that we actually use that are amazing. So if you're somebody out there who want to learn how to grow your own interview show or how to grow your own podcast out there, I have a course that teaches about like pretty much everything out there that you need to learn: how to start, how to book guests, how to reach out to them, how to do the interview, what to do after the interview, the whole systems and structure. We created a course out there. You can go in and check that out course down below. Or if you're somebody out there who are like, hey, I want to see like how everything works out in the initial start, we have a free challenge. You can check out the free 5-day challenge as well down below. Not only that, but also if you're somebody who's already successful, who's already making at least 6 figures per year and want everything get done for you, we also have a program out there where we do everything for you, and only thing that you need to do is to get on the show, and we teach you how to ask amazing questions so that build that relationship. So hey guys, thank you so much for watching out there, and I'll definitely gonna see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.